Okay, you know what clutter does not get enough attention? It's all the clutter that we don't notice that floats around the house and impacts the way we feel in our home, but we don't take care of it because it's not our priority. It's not a pile of clothes. It's not a stack of magazines. It's not bags, grocery bags, all that. I am talking about picture frames, paintings, wall decor. This can be a huge one for people that maybe just moved in or moved in a while before and thought that they were going to place everything strategically on the walls, and then they never got around to it. And you notice that you start to lean frames against the wall, and there might be picture frames with nothing in them. You might have your college degree, your diplomas waiting to be framed, and that's against the wall. You might have artwork that's on a canvas that needs proper wiring to go up on the wall. You might have that piece of decor that you saw when you were at Home Goods or one of those type of stores, and you're like, I just gotta get it. And you never actually put it up. Sometimes it's even little floating shelves. Like, we wanna get more small clutter off of the countertops, so we get these floating shelves, and then we never install the shelves, so then the shelves are waiting to be put up. So, it if you clear up all of this wall clutter that you have been blind to, that you just walk past because it's a someday maybe project, I promise you it's going to feel a lot clearer and cleaner in your home. But that takes a second or third step, right? We need to make sure that we have the right materials. Do you have the right tools? Do you have a stud finder so you don't rip a heavy painting out of the wall and it comes crashing down in the middle of the night and all hell breaks loose and you're terrified because you think you are being robbed and it's a home invasion and you jump out of bed naked with your heart beating like a little bunny rabbit. We don't want that. So you either need to gather those materials and get it going, or you need to just suck it up and hire someone. Have someone on TaskRabbit or any way that you locally hire people, maybe at the handyman that you know or are recommended. Maybe it's someone you're dating or in a relationship with, or one of your adult children, whoever it is. It takes scheduling it with them, making sure they're going to do it, maybe the resources to pay them, and making sure that they know what they're doing. So one time I was with a client and we were doing it over a Zoom session. He lives on the other side of the country. And I just remember he was doing so well. It was very hard for him to focus on his clutter. I'm pretty sure he has undiagnosed ADHD. I think that he self diagnosed ADHD. I can't remember, but it was part of our conversation at one point. Anyway, he's doing a great job really focusing, and then sometimes his mind would wander a little bit, and he would have to do a little side quest, and I call those needle movers. It's when you strategically alleviate the distraction by doing a smaller task that can be done in 3 to 5 minutes, and so that you can come back and focus on the main task. So he was doing really well, picking up things off the floor and putting things away, and he had ordered a few organizing supplies, and he was putting them in that and labeling them and rearranging things on his shelves, and then he comes up to the screen, he leans over after he'd been kinda busy working for about 45 minutes. He goes, "Okay, I think I did great in here today." And of course, I was, telling him that he did a great job as well. And then I said, "Wait a minute, take the camera, take me around, show me what you did." And he's very proudly showing me everything, and he's moving the camera kind of fast, and I go, "Stop for a second, stop." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Point the camera downward." And he points it downward, and there was a canvas bag and plastic trash that had been on the floor in the same spot the entire 2-hour session that we had. And I said to him, I was like, "What about the bag and the trash?" And he goes, "Oh." In his mind, he did not even see that. He was so focused on putting the clothes away, putting things on this shelf, arranging them. Every once in a while, he would remember a new task and go do that for a few minutes, but he kept stepping over this canvas bag and this little bits of trash. And I don't even think he realized he was doing it. And I don't think that this is such a huge problem that it's going to ruin the way you function. It's going to be the worst thing in the world for your home. But I do think that these small cluttered bits or pieces that are in the middle of our environment, we start to have a blindness to it. We start to ignore it. We start to live around it and we even accommodate it. So he was stepping over these few things that he could have easily picked up, but his mind wasn't going there, right? So I told him, I was like, okay, let's put that canvas bag away. Let's throw that trash away. And you could see him hesitate a little bit. He almost didn't want to do it because in his brain, he had already expended the energy that he thought he needed. He was already rewarding himself. He was already excited. He was having closure. And so he almost didn't do it. He was willing to step over this small amount of clutter for another 7 days until our next session because, one, he didn't realize that this was something that he was accommodating in his day-to-day life. And two, that was not a priority for him because his brain worked a different way. So once he picked up that canvas bag and he threw away I think it was packing trash from like Amazon boxes or something. I forgot what it was. The room opened up even more. These little visual bits of clutter do make an impact once you take care of it, but you're so used to it, you might not figure it out right away. So the same thing happened in my house when I was putting up my artwork. I moved into an apartment last year and I had frames for some art, no frames for other art, frames that with art that didn't fit, so empty frames, and a couple shelves that I had wanted to put up. And I did not do it for a few months. I'd put up a couple canvases of art of local artists, the artists' work that I love. I put up my own artwork because it was easy. Nail in the wall, really light canvas. I don't have to worry about it pulling from the wall or anything like that. But when it came to heavier picture frames, when it came to my degree and heavier artwork, that is when I struggled to get it done. So I decided one day, I was like, this is my shelf and picture frame day. I do thankfully have all the tools for this stuff. I had my neighbor come over for a glass of wine, and he actually put up 2 shelves for me, not because I'm incapable, but because he was excited to help, and he loves that kind of stuff. I help him sometimes with rearranging his furniture. We kind of have this mutual exchange of helping each other on certain things. He also built my bookshelf when I was out of town. He's got a key to my apartment. He can come in whenever he wants. Sometimes he grabs a bottle of wine, waters my plants, things like that. We're just very open with each other as neighbors. And so he saw my package on the doorstep one day and he sent me a picture and he goes, sorry, I was bored. Sorry, my nose is, he said, sorry, I was bored. I built your bookshelf. And I probably would have let that bookshelf sit in the box for at least a couple weeks before I got down to it. So that was an amazing shift in my apartment. I had a bookshelf all put together that I did not have to worry about. I put my books that were stacked on the floor immediately into this bookshelf. And when I tell you, my entire living room opened up. I had already had one bookshelf in there, but it wasn't enough for all my books. This second bookshelf that went in my bedroom, it made my living room feel cleaner, clearer. It felt more complete, like I finally was moved in and finished. And after the bookshelf, that is when he had come down and together we put things up on the walls. And I will tell you that my bedroom feels more complete because I have this framed gallery wall of art and my degree and all that. And it just feels like a real bedroom. It doesn't feel like I'm in various stages of moving in still. It's been, almost a year at this point, but sometimes that happens. You move in and you never quite finish some of these little things. They don't take priority. And in the living room, he had put up the little shelves and I got to get some of my smaller plants up off the tables and onto the hanging plants onto these little shelves. and it felt really complete, really good. There were no leaning pieces of art or frames on my walls anymore, and it wasn't something I ever tripped over, but it didn't look nice, it didn't feel nice, and I ignored it. So, I want you to take a look around your home, and do you have picture frames or photos or degrees or wall decor or plants that need a shelf or floating shelves that need to go up? What do you have that's been kind of or leaning against the wall, or maybe it's all in a container somewhere, the decor just waiting to go up on the walls and have that finished look. Do you have that? What can you commit to this week? Who do you need to ask for help? What tool do you need if you don't want someone to help you? Do you have those tools? Are they easily accessible? What do you need in order to get this done? And I would give yourself short little timeline to do it. Don't give yourself, days and days to do it. Say, okay, this morning I'm going to put up 2 paintings and go ahead and put those up and see how it makes you feel. I know sometimes there can be an anxiety around or an insecurity around putting it on the wrong part of the wall. And there are lots of apps that you can download and websites you can go to where it shows you your whole room. You take a picture of the room and you can put things up on it. Or you can even take a picture if you want really easy. You can take a picture on your phone and edit it with the marker or pen or whatever it is on your app and draw squares so you can see where in the wall there would be something placed. Don't be afraid to stage it online so you really can't get your mind around it. And of course, that takes several steps, right? Downloading an app or taking pictures and spending that time on your phone to see if it looks right. But I promise you, it's really worth it to feel complete in your home. So if you are going to be committing to doing this, please let me know on Instagram or in the comments here. Did you find that how many things did you find that you needed to put up on a wall? Or how many additional items did you need to buy in order to finish putting things up on your wall? Did that mean that you needed to hire someone, ask someone to help you, buy tools, buy picture frames, buy hooks, nails? What did you need? Picture frame wire? What extra steps did you need to take? And how did you put those into your schedule and into your commitments to make sure that they happen? And that, my friends, is going to make your home feel so great and a little bit more organized in a place that you did not think needed to be organized. So that is all I've got for you today. Pick your picture frames up off the wall. It's time. It's been 5 years. It's time to get that kindergarten picture of your third grader up on the wall. Okay, let's do this.